it go. Let it go. Lord, help me let it go. 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 Lord, help me let it go. Help me let it go. Yeah, let it go. Yeah, let it go. Help me let it go. Master Jesus, let it go. Yeah, me let it go. Go, 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 go. Oh, let it go. I'm tired, let it go. Give your heart to Jesus. Let it take control. Just sit and worship. I know it hurts you, and I know it's painful. No way to wait, so you have to let it go. Your best friend is not your secret ingredient. Let it go. Your wife is getting married to another man. Your husband are falling in love with another woman. Don't let it bother you. I say let it go. If someone overlook you because you live in zero, if they insult you because you don't have nobody, if you say you will continue to be a zogo, if you say you will continue to be a prostitute, if you say you will continue to be a beggar, you will not marry, you will not bear your own children. If you say your need is for a borrow, Sunday go to meeting, mommy can say no, Johnny, ginger. Just let it go. Jesus will change your story. Let it go. 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 Lord, help me let it go. Help me let it go, man.
Yeah. Mighty blow. Holla, holla. Nobody do it like you do it. You a true God. Yes. You always hear me when I say my prayer with few words. But Jenna said, if they plenty in this new world, we devour every day. Now while I'm still a good boy. Jehovah bigger than your problem, so just let it go. Just keep on praying, he will make your blessing overflow. So be the best and more the rest. You gotta pray more the God of Abraham, Isaac, Jacob, the God of mighty blow. But there is power in your blood. And while I'm giving praises, yes. I gotta this that David did. The thing I'm getting crazy. But love is how you make it, brother. May not be here. Say every time I sing, I'm on my knees, begging God for mercy. Thank you for your love, blessing, and forgiveness. You solved my problem, Lord. You took me from the wilderness. Now only you can see my struggle when I'm very stressed. So my papa bless me, then my enemy they get the best. No matter what the problem is, man, just let it go. Your delay is not your denial. Everybody know. Just keep on trusting in Jehovah. He will give you more. He took me from the grass. He can take you from the rock and roll. Yeah.
Let it go, let it go, oh, let it go, let it go. Lord, help me let it go. Your people are suffering, lying in the hospital, suffering from all kinds of sickness, Lord. Lord, help them. That sickness that devouring you, I say, let it go.
Good evening, folks. Welcome to the show.
Living the life of godlessness.
Good evening, good evening. We want to welcome all our viewers and listeners across the globe. Thank you so much for joining us. I'm Alfonso Ziensot of the Liberia Public Radio and LPR-TV. We want to welcome all of you following here, right here. It's on the Diaspora Informative News Outlet. God Favor, Churcon, Mr. Peter Brown, Richardson Pay, Frank, Bill Willie jumping in. Frank Davy, Langlet, and Mamalut. Ian said, good evening. Aloysius, welcome. Come for ya right here in my own ocean state. Supposedly, DJ Lecant, real countryman. I love that name. And of course, Vanishot Malbert, one of our regular contributor donor here. We want to say welcome you. How many of us willing to let go here? Blessed by the gospel artist Jimamont right there to walk out Nima gospel artist in Liberia. Welcome to the show. Christopher Ulati Tobasi, the senior research man from the CDC, went, man, this guy doesn't get tired. Uncle Emmanuel Taboat, right there in Norway this morning hour. Thank you so much, Augustine Yont, I believe. Is that Yont, our man in Maryland County? Good morning. Welcome to the show. The Runoff heat is on. The analysts will be here very shortly. We're going to do a site and profile all of the happenings in Liberia. The Y is wired down to 2%. The incumbent President George Weah and Unity Party, Jose Newmont Boykai. And this is the program, Wednesday editions of All Things Considered, right here, right now, is about to get underway. I am your host and your presenter, Alfonso Zienso. Oh man, don't make Jesus run. Let it go, let it go. How many of us willing to let go? This is a sound that introduces the program. Fifi Reeves, good evening. Welcome to the show. Oh my goodness, what a good bass here. I'm going to be releasing one song very shortly. Welcome to the show. Let's get a ball rolling here this evening. Drinking this year along with also evening, folks. We want to welcome our viewers and listeners across the globe. I am Afonso Zienso, right here this evening from the New England Bureau of the Liberia Public Radio and LPR-TV. If you are in Liberia, we say good morning. If you are right here in the USA or in Australia, Asia, to wherever you are, we say good morning. So welcome to this edition of All Things Considered. Usually Wednesday is here. A program perfectly suited to allow you to bring your own talking point on some of the things we do not capture here. None that is on purpose, but it is meant to give you voice as usual. It is the traditions of this network. We intend not to leave no one behind. We always keep the conversation fair, proportionate, balanced. I want to say thank you for your commitment to this network. There's part of all of our talking points which does not in any way pivot in your political direction, but you're always here to know, to listen to what is happening in your country. And we do applaud the different political views expressed, opinions expressed on this network. This is what the country should be, and this is what we should do. And we must hold the politicians accountable. People, blood pressures is running over the roof. The seditions, the Europeans, in my own word, I call them, I could be it wrong. The day is on the 14th. No tail runoff, no penalty kicks. We will know exactly what happens at the end of the day. We want to thank you so much for your time here this evening. I always here. So we're going to throw the number out. We're going to have a conversation. Trust me, I am in charge here tonight. The liberal with his tabatat, that's not going to, those total, we are talking about a sovereign nation. And this guy, he comes on here every night. His Power Web story from Total 1966 and 50 story, he comes here to be like a storyteller here. That's not what we're here for. That's not what we want to do. And that's not what you are wasting your time. But trust me, every devil get their own follower. The liberal has his own follower. There are some people who are saying this here, it pinch them because the liberal is their guy as well. And we do understand that. But we're here to have this conversation here. It's quite interesting. A lot of information, a lot of things going, the endorsement. What would be the end results of all of these endorsements that is taking place? And what do you think we should be talking about? We are not talking about it. Are we even hearing from these candidates now that much? Well, the deal is sealed up. We have already elevated, we have already given them the pathway. And so much is not being talked about as to how they're going to even address the economy, the infrastructure, the security. They have their surrogates. Their mouthpiece are doing all of the dirty works for them. So how can we even possibly hold these guys accountable? It is not too late to hand down the hammer, and that seems to be the case. The sleeping dog, they have been talking about the elephant in the room. We are now hearing, according to a report, the Deputy Minister of Foreign Affairs for Administration, Honorable Heron Family, who happens to be a Cambria as well, learned that he has been relieved of his post for what is being termed as administrative reasons. But what could possibly be that administrative reason surrounding the dismissal of Heron Family? We will try it. We are still in the process of speculations. I did try reaching out, but up to the press time coming to this broadcast, I've not been able to hear an official statement coming from Heron Family. Now, the former deputy minister, former member of the House, from Mosorado County, formerly Europeans and turned seditions. Why would this hammer come down here? Could this be the reason possibly? I listened to this, and this went widespread to the social media. And the conversations is various depending who a lender on and who is making that interpretation. And I know you have seen it. Could this be possibly the reason? I'm not a voice expert, but I can try to figure out the voice in the background when this lady was placing the call. Seems to be the voice of now former Deputy Minister of Foreign Affairs for the administration. So who drops the ball? What is your thought about this video? Let's play this, and we can have a conversation as well, and hopefully the analysts, they're going to be joining me here as well. Let's listen to this.
Third secretary, she now approach. Let her show you the document that states that she was deputy permanent representative.
Okay.
Let her show you that document.
Okay.
Let her show it to you.
Ma'am. They don't want you. The people in this building, in this permanent mission.
I work here. Like I said, you guys have to arrest me. You have to arrest me. Please. Can you call Rennie, please? You guys have to arrest me.
Why? So for what reason do we have to arrest
Please,
you?
here you go. You're please arrest me. You're going to have to arrest me.
Because you've been told to leave and you don't want to leave? Because
you're going to have to arrest me.
Why? Because you just don't want to leave and go home for the day?
Because it's injustice. It's injustice. She has no right, sir. She has no right.
What are you going to accomplish by being here? By working here today? What are you going to accomplish?
Justice.
Okay.
I'm going to call the U.S. mission. They're the host country, so I will call the minister council that I'm working with at the U.S. mission that is fully aware of this.
Okay. Why didn't you already call them?
They call you. You came to me.
But why didn't you already call them?
Like I said, I'm working with them already.
Okay. And why didn't you have one of the bosses come and say that you were allowed in the building? If they're saying you're not allowed in the building.
They have no authority to tell me I'm not allowed in the building. They have zero authority. Zero.
Okay, then who has the authority?
Liberia. The governor of Liberia have the authority.
The government of Liberia.
Yes.
Which is comprised of who?
Okay. The president of Liberia.
Only the president can tell you you can't come here?
Because
you don't have a boss?
I report to the president of Liberia.
You report to the president of Liberia?
Yes. I report to the president of Liberia. Thank you.
So, how often do you talk to the president of Liberia?
I'm calling him right now.
You're calling the president?
Yes.
You're calling him directly?
I do have his direct number. He was the one that assigned me. That's why I said I report to him. Hello, Minister.
Yeah.
Can you go on your video, please?
Yeah.
Hello, Maggie, they just called the cops on me. Can you see me? Okay, 1 second. Let me turn this around.
No, it's you.
Yeah, yes, the officer Maggie came outside just now. I'm on Facebook Live so they can see these are the cops. She called the cops and said, "This is the deputy minister of foreign affairs I'm on the phone with, just so you know. He have a higher power over the lady that just came out here." She called the cops and said, "I'm not a staff at the ministry, and I'm not authorized to be in this building." Hello. Oh no, he can hear you. Let me hold on a second. Here you go. That's the deputy minister of foreign affairs.
Hey, how's it going?
Fine, thank you. My name is Henry Kamala, Deputy Minister of Foreign Affairs.
Okay. Do you have a badge or anything? Do you have a badge?
Hello?
Do you have an ID or?
He asked if you have ID. Did you ask her for her ID when she came out here? Did you ask her for her ID?
She clearly came out of there.
What's my ID?
Yeah.
you asked the minister for his ID, but you didn't ask her for her ID, and you said that she's over me.
No, let me screenshot my ID and send it to you, okay?
Okay.
All right, Daddy. Hurry up, come back.
Let me just tell you something. You don't want to get involved in this.
Oh boy. Father God, Terry, we got to pray for our country, my dear brother.
Oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah.
We have to pray. Unbelievable.
Wait a minute, move the box on behind me.
Okay. Yeah, I need to move that because we're about to get to the conversation here. My goodness. What a world, trouble world we found ourselves in. Okay, good morning, good evening, folks. I'm Alfonso here. So hopefully I'm well audible here this evening. Mosette Randolph, Tama, Emmanuel, Sarah, Diallo, and Rebecca, Jalwool. I hope I'm calling it good. I hate to call people named the wrong way. Terry, good evening. Welcome.
Good evening, Mr. So. Sorry for the distraction.
Oh no, that's okay. That's okay. You're seeking justice, right? You're seeking your own justice. Okay. I thought of bringing that. I know that video has saturated the social media to capture people's attention. Potentially, one could say, because yesterday when I said that, I missed the point where he introduced himself, but I know his comrade Formula. I know him very well. Gentlemen went to the same school, walk out the same door, everything. In fact, we have a special name we call one another. I'm not going to call that here. But this is all things considered, Terry. What are you considering? And of course, we have to talk about that, and hopefully, we can get a take from from the audience as well from that video. What does it suggest? What is going on? This is embarrassing. It is ridiculous on the part of that lady. There's so much of contradictions, and that's what happens if you even have the case in your favor. And if you just do not know how to prosecute that case, the law goes against you. You say you were even calling the president direct, you end up calling the minister. The president, is that the president that owns that bidding? So she was even questioning people job ethics, and she doesn't even know what she was saying.
Yeah, I don't think she's informed.
Then you say the president, then you say that's the president on the breast. And the officer tried to provide tutorial, and she doesn't get it by any inch. Say you only report to the president, so you don't have a boss. And the man who has oversight responsibility of the foreign mission, to the deputy minister for administration, has the oversight responsibility. So you even forgot that, and then what are you trying to prove? I mean, he's endangered and put this guy job. I know the tensions, the lot going on with the minister proper and that of our family. It's been a long time from the renovations of the Ministry of Foreign Affairs. We know it. A lot of people know it. And to see that lady, in as much it was being a case, we know exactly what has been happening yet, whatever investigation, but to have gone up like that and allowed the police, despite of the tolerance exercised by the police. Can you even do that, first of all, to the Liberian or any African police? I don't think. But let me just bring here a tip. What is lacking within in working places? This is just one of what is being put out there public. But take, for instance, things that are not appearing on camera. What do you think is lacking?
Well, I think it's the way you said, working ethics. You know, the lack of working ethics, the lack of working relationship, or subordinates coordinating with the bosses, with the superiors. It is lacking. You know, Liberians think that they can do whatever they want, and some of the thing about our Liberian women, once they start loving to a big person in the ministry, they tend to start acting up on the superiors.
Hold on 1 second. I don't think that's what I don't think she pointed that out, because people get a way of interpreting things. This is what the analysts say on LPR.
No.
I heard her saying cost in such, or is that just something you are trying to point out?
Yeah,
right?
I'm trying to, because you said what are some of the things that are lacking in working. So I'm trying to present some of the things that go against our working ethics, that infiltrate subordinates, projecting them to behave the way they be. But what I understood, because even the security or the police officer were trying to get her to comply. And I think in my mind, she was supposed to comply with the officer. All right. And she did not do that. Even according to her, the officer
You know
asked
why she
her
didn't do
for
that?
ID.
You know why she didn't do that? Not to interrupt you, because she came with a mindset to capture what the public would think about.
Right.
You have to arrest me. So she was doing
Yeah.
everything possible that I arrest should take place. I think at the end of that, it asked her to turn her, hand back, because then she was over the line. When she was recording, the officer said too, we are also recording as well.
Definitely, the officer have a body camera.
Yeah.
Yeah, so they are recording too. But you see, that is why our people, they are not smart, and we are not learning. You've been in this country all the years, you still not learning. Once the police come in, you're supposed to comply with the police. If there is a complaint, you follow the police, and then after the investigation, temporary or preliminary investigation, you can file in your complaint. All right. But she didn't do all that. She tried to create a scene that would attract a public sentiment towards her and all of that, trying to implicate the government. I think that's the reason why President we are
I
fired.
don't understand. Yeah, but I don't understand. Family, I don't know. This is what I call what sympathy exceed your interest, and you end up being the victim, because maybe they are related, because in some part as she said cost. So trying to prove that she knows someone higher up, this is the minister,
Right.
this is the person. When you even say you have the direct number to the president, you are calling the president. We now know you did not call the president, but you decided to call the deputy minister who has oversight responsibility. Okay, that's cool. But to even suggest that you only report to the president as if there's no chief of mission, in as much you have a case, and the case is something, I'm not sure why the minister, I don't know why Comrade Famlet jump into that. He's not a guy that I know that I can rush into something, because even if it was the case, I will ask, where are you? And if you found out at the embassy or the consulate, the next thing is to contact the chief of missions or whoever is the head. But I think there was a preconceived mind. This woman, I'm going out there today and I'm going to create this sort of dramatic saying in the midst of this political something to add insult to injury, so that we have a talking point, which is exactly what we are doing. But she who were questioning people who don't know A from B, she seems to be the wife to say that building is the owner of the owner that is the president, and that she only report to the president. That shows of lack of people do. I don't know what are these people that go to job here to do or onboarding to tell them what is involved, things you're supposed to do, your do's and don't. I'm not sure their onboarding is quite correct. This woman is a disaster. I don't know what her role at the embassy there, first of all. In as much the cool, there's a case against the minister.
But she even mentioned that the lady there was her boss. The security even reminded her, the security said, do you know that this woman is higher than you?
And
she was stunned. She admitted that the woman is higher than her. But then she tried to make the police officer to know that she worked there. So that the police officer told her that if this woman is higher than you, then, and she putting you out, you have to come out. If she putting you out, whether you work there or not. Once the woman is your boss and she want you out of the building, you need to be out, because people who are higher than you, they have the power to fire you. They have the power to say, we don't want you in this building. All right. So I think she implicated the minister and put his whole job in jeopardy. And I don't really want to believe that the minister were aware of what she was doing.
No. Because she called. I don't want to. If I'm like this, my guy. I mean, she provided explanation. Say, I am here, and that's how and I putting him on the video, and the officer said about because I believe he was in, like, maybe I'm not sure whether he was at work or whatever time was it. I said, but he's wearing like a polo white shirt. So from his side, he doesn't appear to be someone who is a minister. But for him, because he went into explanation that, oh yeah, there's an ongoing investigation, the minister. Now remember, you are trying to cross over the line, but I can tell you, sure, there have been a rough edges with Minister Family and that of Minister coming here. I know that for sure. I know it's not a hidden thing, starting from by the renovation of that band. There's a long, huge history to that. That's a different thing. But for he to start making the case on her behalf, telling the police there's investigations of sexual harassment, and which, of course, and perhaps the reason he bringing that up, sexual harassment thing here is a very huge, big case here. But that was that was not a job of the police to conduct.
That was not even the reason why the police was there. So that's why I'm trying to say that he may not have known that that was her intention previously before going there. Apparently, when she got there and she expected that situation to occur and she wanted to draw attention, that is how apparently she placed the call. But whether if the minister were briefed
what was it? What you were about to do, judgment as well. If you were in the position of the minister, what would have been your judgment?
I would have told her to comply, and later on she gave him a call, and they would handle it.
Correct.
All right. But to try to implicate, sexual harassment is denigrating your boss, is denigrating the. So even if this thing happened, the optics does not appear right for the government in any way you try to present it. Then she's talking about the president and all that kind of thing. She implicated the whole entire government. So to me, President, we are firing him was justified because he's not supposed to even be discussing about investigation, sexual harassment
investigation. I believe probably without me knowing the detail. I actually reached out to I will not say former Minister Famole, but today, so I think it is better to get a side of this story, because if it is an investigation, perhaps either maybe whether she's actively working there, if not, or on temporary suspensions, we need to know all of those details. But she herself says she has filed in the complaints. What is the status of that complaint?
Right.
Maybe people told her stay home, and she decided to challenge conventional wisdom and decided to go in there. And police came in, and you providing information like you gotta go, because the guy. What do you hope to accomplish here? And she said, justice. Is that where you think justice is going to be?
Right.
There? Is that
in the court?
That's in the court.
The police was not on that assignment. The police was specifically called to remove you out of the building. That was the assignment that moment. So any other case you got, you have to plead that case with the court. The police is not going to get involved with that. But again, I don't know whether if they got tutorial of all these kind of exercises, because I think
the onboarding system, people being employed from this year, 0. And this woman, first of all, I don't think she was supposed to even work there as regardless of her case, because
those are some of the things.
Just blow her whole case up. Now we have somebody, your patron is here. I'm not sure how this conversation will go this evening, because he's always on the other side of the world, but I thank God. I don't want to call his name. I don't want to call his name. I intend not to call his name. When we hear, we are on a different. He on your own, I on my own. After the program, that's fine. And I fully understand. For whatever reason, I'm getting the calls. You regularly talking to the liberal, and guess what? When you hangs the phone down, he calls me to say, "Oh, this is what Terry and I talk about." So.
No! I don't call the liberal.
Well, I'm not sure. I don't know who is lying.
We have never
So are you saying? Okay, let me just. I don't like to talk beyond people back here. Let me just bring in here. Let me just do. Are you saying, Terry, you and the liberal don't talk after the program? You want to deny that he's here?
The only time we meet is on the show. Me and the liberal don't talk like that.
The only time we meet. The liberal progressive. Why is he wearing again this evening?
The liberal is in a CDC jacket. I don't know if you.
So he on RBC after that. Wait. No, don't go.
The liberal is sympathizing with the CDC today.
Terry, you are a bad guy. My goodness. Oh, boy. Terry. Oh, man. You see, I am vindicated. You will not know the liberal always, I don't know why would I want to, he always on top cover. So the thing is, who you think I want to sit and talk and post so throat, give myself so throat? In the liberal politics, if you decide to do what you want to be, you got to be it, regardless of what people talking. It doesn't matter. People have the right to take their side. Do you think I want to be like some of those guys who and as somebody allows it to Eugene Falcon and how can they become deputy minister? Why may you think I can't do the same thing? And if I want to do it, should I why be behind the closet? Abraham Bangu from Bakube Avenue early this morning, hour from Morovia. We say thank you so much for joining us. We do appreciate and all of you, all of our folks here. So you know, I don't understand. And then she went as far as she only reported to the president of the republic. Come on, give me a break. How can you be here and you say you only report that the consulate, it is not under the purview of the president of the Republic of Liberia. It's the Ministry of Foreign Affairs. It's part of the diplomatic or whatever it's on the arm of the Ministry of Foreign Affairs. Whereas true, the president is the chief executive, appoints the minister proper, deputy ministers, and all of that. But that branch is specifically on the Ministry of Foreign Affairs. And then you say, oh, I have the president. These people, I don't know. Representative Kaluba said complete embarrassment to the country, not just for her behavior, what she did. To the extent
she knew exactly what she was doing. She set that thing up, she planned everything, and she knew what she wanted to get out of it. And apparently,
what she wanted to get out of it?
What she wanted to get out of it, what she wanted to implicate the minister. Come here. I think she wanted the whole world to see.
But apparently, it backfire now.
Yeah, apparently, her case is stalling, or there are protocols to all these things. And she thinks in her mind that it's delaying. So apparently she wants to implicate them. She wants the whole world to see what's going on, and maybe buy sympathy from the public,
Wow.
Yeah. So because in my mind,
action yesterday, now Terry, let's put it under the microscope. Who was the victim? Who was the victor?
Well, I think she's playing the victim, but she's not really the victim. Because
who's the victim now?
Well,
I think the minister who turned to be a good Samaritan end up being the victim.
Okay. Yeah, the former, what is his name? Formula now is the victim now because he is now going through he's taking all the blame for what she did. So I want to agree with you that, he is the victim and she is probably about the victor.
Yeah, I can tell you for sure. I know.
What's the neighbor? Are you going?
He gonna change the CDC jacket.
Oh.
That would be the embarrassing.
I'm just playing, man.
No, you didn't see it. You didn't see on it. It was that's it. God, there's a way God can expose people. That's what happened when you throw this range and I feel bad from Liberal. He's gonna roll in his bed tonight. He will not sleep. Now, tonight I think we're gonna be best of all friends. Now I know you don't talk to the. I know you don't talk to the Liberal. Wow.
Oh yeah, me and the Liberal only meet on the show like this most of the time on the show.
So you think the CDC jacket?
Now you are Liberal now.
That was that's a Runoff jacket, CDC jacket you had on. So why you change it, the Liberal?
I don't want to associate myself with anything that have to do with blue and CDC. The what I wore was for Golden Gate, the Warriors, the basketball jacket that I wore. But
I saw the bold letter CDC. So why, if you know that was
to associate
why you decide to change? Why you decide to change?
Because I don't want to wear. If you brought it up, you say I wear.
No, not me. That's your patron. That's your guy.
Okay, that's why I change. I don't care where it come from. I'm not wearing blue tonight.
The clip going already. People are screenshot. Hey, you.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. I am who I am. As long as you brought it up, I took it out. I wear my neutral, my real Loma shirt tonight.
Look at it. What a shame. What a shame. Terry really exposed you tonight. Oh my goodness.
Whatever.
I feel bad for you. Okay, gentlemen, good evening. Welcome. This is All Things Considered, the Liberal Progressive. Good to have you here. Terry, good to have you here. We already bossed around that incident that unfolded at the consulate yesterday. But let's look at some of the news making headlines. Today is the 8th, right? And then we'll go out 6 more days to go.
Yes.
Right? And today is 7 or 8th?
The 8th, yeah, you're right.
Today the 8th. So we'll go out 6 days to go.
Right.
Who is going to be the next president? Maybe the early morning of November 15th. Hopefully the announcement will be made by the National Election Commission. The endorsement.
I can help you right now. I can help you right now to make that announcement.
Will you please stop interrupting me? I am running the program, please. This is not your program. You hired a show yesterday. It was strictly Unity Partisan fun fair. So please, tonight is going to be balanced, fair, all sides going to be heard.
You came in, what do you mean by balanced and fair? You came in with all Samuel 12 record, all CDC music all night, then you say balanced and fair? You were playing Samuel 12, people were praising Samuel 12. What are you calling balanced and fair now?
I was playing what? What do you mean?
The music you were playing, they were praising Samuel 12.
Are you confused from your blue jacket or whatever? Let's leave that topic. I don't want you. You're trying to find a ground here. So Terry, the endorsement is quite impressive. The momentum, as a matter of fact, on the part of Unity Party in terms of endorsement, people gathering. But I'm waiting. I'm not a guy who likes to jump the gun, because I always leave a vacuum for surprises or for something, because you never know. You know, these electors, they have their own way of doing things here. But this seems to be a nail-biting exercise. We can't count the president. We must also note that he's a Cuban, so they have the resources. They will do everything possibly they can to defend. We see the MCC scorecard. I'm not sure whether it's going to be a significant impact into what is happening right now. But at this point in time now, what is really happening? Is Unity Party feeling comfortable within herself? This time we got it. We nailed it.
Well, I don't think that Unity Party will feel comfortable 100% that we got it and all that kind of crap that we were talking from the first round. You know, that victory is sure, blah blah blah. Because again, we're dealing with the CDC. Like I always say, they are very meticulous. They don't talk about the strategies much. It's only the strategies are only heard in gossip and all of that. And they are the ruling establishment. They got the resources. They control most of the country. The magistrates and everybody is under their control. So there are a lot of things could factor in. All right. But Unity Party is gaining some grip on trying to be able to control whatsoever that is going to occur in these elections, because they have already seen what transpired in the first round. And I think to myself, they have to learn from it and beef up the ability to be able to secure the votes of the people. And that is the only way I see that they will be able to win these elections. But these elections are going to be very tough. I overheard on the Spoon Talk that the Unity Party now have a plane to go to the Southeast. I don't know how true is that information. But what I also observed or heard, and I was just looking at front page update, is that the IT of the Unity Party from Ghana have been arrested. I don't know for what. I don't know why he was arrested. The government arrested him. I also listened to some small stuff for Jefferson Koji accusing Unity Party, blah, blah, blah. So I believe a lot is going on. And I also want to believe that Unity Party is trying to arrest some very key areas that they felt within themselves that there was a great loophole. And I think CDC is waking up. They are seeing that Unity Party is not joking with these elections. So in my opinion, I think that Unity Party is going to, try to create a means to protect the votes more than what they did in the previous or in the first round of the elections. But for me to just clearly say that they are comfortable that they are going to win, I don't think they can say that.
Okay, look, this is LPR. We know the traditions, and this is why analysts always establish their identity, which is okay, but we like to do it differently. And we want to have this conversation for the good of the country. Let me bring in the liberal here, which is, I know nothing is really guaranteed with him on that. With Terry, I can kind of like leave my eyes all closed. But with the liberal, having conversation with the liberal, you got to keep one eye open alike. Liberal, is the Unity Party the position she finds herself? Can she put herself as the underdog, or to just see herself now that this deal is done? I'm seeing some few distraction here and there. We now forgot to they have their major ally, which of course is not hidden. Spawn is a strong media wired for the Unity Party. But there are a lot of conversation going on. It doesn't mean what is happening now is not important, but the end game to all of this here potentially is to have a lengthy conversations, educate, inform, not leaving it with NEC. Senator Darius Dillon pointed that out here. Do you see this talking to winning strategy, the real conversation? Is it going on, or people seems to say now it's rely as usual? We are enticed with this group crowd, or what is happening right now? Eyes the quick to capture and say, okay, we seal it out. Is there something they are missing here, or they are just right on course?
Thank you, Mr. So, and good evening to you. Good evening, Terrence. Thank you, guys. And I am here wearing a Lama shirt, which represents the Republic of Liberia. We're getting ready to retire the Nigerian style propo dressing. We're getting ready to retire the fuller dressing, whatever it is. It's coming from Mali, and we don't want Mali attire to be the how do you call it? Go-to attire in Liberia. We have our own culture, and the culture is the Loma culture is the most outstanding one right now, and we're all gravitating towards it. Now, let me answer your question very quickly, Mr. So. I don't believe that these people are going to be complacent. I don't believe that they're going to be content with whatever they have and believe that they have it on their belt. I don't think so. You heard about 2 weeks or 3 weeks ago, I'm making reference to Ambassador Baka's speech, where he told the Liberian people, I cannot do this by myself. I need everyone hands on deck. Help me to rescue the Republic of Liberia on your behalf. And I think with that kind of statement, he has already indicated to his people, his insider, the war room, if you whatever, politically war room, that's what I'm saying. Those that are operating those things, that they should not be sitting down and believing they have it on their control. Everyone must work hard and believe that this is a fight that we want to have. Not physical fight, not war, but political, so that we will be able to rescue the country. Mr. So, these runoff election, the Unity Party and Ambassador Baka has a message. CDC has no message. The only message they have, as far as I'm concerned, is to show regret that they have failed to recognize and inform Liberians that yes, indeed, we have challenges. Now, President Weah is now admitting that yes, indeed, there has been challenges, and that yes, indeed, they have failed to completely carry out their propo agenda as it was set out in their propo document. He's just admitting those things. So the fact that you brought in the passing grade of the MCC, whatever it is, that's intellectual level. Or we're not going there. They're not saying, do you see me know that Samuel, how do you call it, Samuel Twell or Dr. Sawyer or Dr. Thibault or no, I'm speaking people in total. What do they understand what the MCC basically means? No. What have you done? There's a video that's going around. People are traveling from Zwedru going to Fishtown. You know what you have to carry in these trucks now? Diesel caterpillar. Let me call it caterpillar. The one that can push the grass. That's the one that put rope behind, chain behind it to tow trucks from the mud. That's the one they understand. That is the failing grace of CDC. Here's what MCC passing. What are passing? They're flunking the rules. People can't go through to feed themselves. They can't go through to be able to get money to feed their family. They can't go harmonization. And you say passing? What the passing?
Okay.
Right. Nothing. But Mr. So let me
hold on. No. We're not going to be carrying on here. We're having a conversation. Hold on. No, you what? You
cannot land.
Well, you already the plane is already down. When you pick up again, you can land.
This is what you see. I'm not to fight with you tonight. I'm here to educate.
Yeah.
So you start your fight, I will back off. I'm not going to fight with you.
All right, I appreciate that. Terry,
go ahead.
Do you agree with the labor? Do you agree with the labor analysis?
Well, I would want to partly because the reason being, you see, one of the things about this government that I believe have sent a wave.
No, he says CDC does not have a message. Is that fair to say that with no message? I mean, that how he categorized it. I don't know in what context, but to say no message, is that a real time saying?
I think CDC is poor in messaging because, to be honest with you, Mr. So, they're depending on propaganda to narrate, to carry the narrative. All right. In my opinion, even the MCC stuff that we pass, right? If Samuel Twell and the likes of all these people were informing the Liberian people of things that are going on in the economy regularly, President Weah would not have to struggle. But because they have not been informing the Liberian people about everything about where our economy is, where we are going to be in the next 5 years, in the next 2 years, they don't give us update. So they left the people to struggle in oblivion to decide what kind of economy they have. So based upon that, you can't come the late day.
So
to elections,
no, but I know
your economy is growing. It will
yeah,
not
but
make sense we can't. Man.
Yeah, but on the other hand here, guys, let's have an open conversation. And I know it's hard to do this because everybody gets into their political feelings. With this report coming of the MCC with the government, it was terrible as it was past years, Frank and thing. Don't you think it worth having a conversation?
It worth having a conversation. It's a good talking point. And it's a plus for the government. But what Labour is saying is that with a man in Bo Winnington understand that now? Understand that now to say, okay, I think we need to
our conversation, more or less, our conversation being so generous, and the Labour is trying to kick the can down the road with this one here that is nothing at all, which is not a realistic one. But the idea people pulling trucks in these muds, barrels, is realistic. It's concrete. It's not abstract. We are saying it. But to shove this down here, and you come here on the other hand, CDC propaganda, all of the teams are playing propaganda. Now we're talking about, I don't know whether the war room now is different from the previous war room that they have, or is an upgraded version war room that we don't know and we need to know, because we don't want the same war room they had before that proved apparently there was no war room. People were making out anything. We now know because they didn't show anything. They didn't push anything to suggest to us
that war room was a scam, Mr.
So how sure are we? Okay, hold on one second. Liberal, the first war room, was it a scam?
Mr. So, I'm not here to debate the past. We are looking up to the future. And that's why we have Ambassador Baka, who is saying, stretching his hand to the young people, including you, as young as you are. They're stretching their hands towards you to say, come on board. Let me take you guys to the future. That your debate about past, we're done with that. We're done with that. You want me to make a comment now, or are you going to stop me again?
I'm listening to you.
I'm on your show. I have to obey tonight because I have something important I want audience to understand. So I'm not here to fight with you tonight. I will obey your rules, and as long as you let me to talk, I will talk. Can I say something now?
Okay, since don't be like that police woman who will want to obey a certain time, and then at the end of the day you start telling me you know a board chairman, then of course it's gonna fly right back at you. Okay, I'm gonna be putting the number. Oh yeah, of course. Yeah, let's hear it. That's why we are here for.
Let me continue. So the point that I'm making, and the point that I was making earlier, is this: CDC, as far as I'm concerned, they are present government people. They are leading and they are running the country. They should be able to enumerate most of their success, if they have any, to say we did this. The video should be out there. We built this road. This is how it was constructed. We did this financial institution. We gave loan to certain people. Here are the proof. These people we helped to manage their affair and to manage the economy of the Republic of. Here are the proof. Nothing. All we hear all day is they not pass. Pass where? In my classroom, you have flunked. Nothing. So, Mr. So, I like I said, these are my brothers and sisters. I am speaking strictly, not because of hate, but because of difference in policy. These people do not have the policy that is good for Liberia. They do on paper. But when it comes to the implementation part of those policies, good policy on paper, they refuse because they knew very well if they implement those policies that was written on paper, many of them might not be able to maintain their job. And so they decided to throw aside the policy, good policy they wrote, and they decided to throw aside. I will predict on this one. When Ambassador Baka become president, most likely, because what is in the pro-poor agenda is so good, it's so good for the country. Most likely, smart people that will be in Ambassador Baka government, they'll say, let's just the pro-poor agenda and fix it to fit our need. We don't have to restart anything. The pro-poor agenda is a blueprint to make Liberia successful within the next 25 years if they were to fight. CDC brought it up, and people were gravitating towards it. They let it go. Because why? If they implement those things that are in the pro-poor agenda, they will not be, many of these people will not be successful. I'll give you an example and I will let you have your show. In the pro-poor agenda, President, we are the opening part, clearly stated, and I'm paraphrasing because I don't have it here to quote, that in his government, the resources of the Liberian people were not ended up in the pocket of the government officials. The resources of the people will go towards benefiting the Liberian people. That particular point of the pro-poor agenda has failed. So what they're going to have to talk about? Nothing. Ambassador Baka is saying, bring your goodwill, whatever it is, come and ask the question, what can you do for Liberia? Not what Liberia can do for you. Liberia is not an elephant scheme for you to come and chop.
All right, let me go to this caller here. Esther is on the line. So folks, the number is there if you want to call in. We can't take time to read all of the comments. It means that we will not have a conversation. The comments there is being viewed by everybody. So, but the number that you can call 682-433-8802 is also available via WhatsApp. Let's go to our contributor. Esther is on the line. Good evening.
Kaifo, you're welcome.
Good evening, Esther.
Yeah, good evening. Your line was a little bit.
Okay, let's hear you.
Hi, Mr. So. Hi, Terry, and hi, Mr. Paul. Yeah. So I think it's a good talking point. My thing is, I don't think anybody at this time is comfortable to say they're going to win. I know everybody will say it, but I think like I still see the first results, the numbers were very close. So everybody is working very hard to see um, if they can get people on their side to vote. And our voters sometimes, like the first round, we saw all these numbers. People were on the field. People like will bring this million of people outside. Everybody doing crowd competition. At the end of the day, nobody 51%. So I think they have learned from that. What right now what we see is just endorsement. This is just like a competition again. But I hope at the end of the day, the people will get out to vote. And just what Mr. Toes here, that the rules are not good. People are using something to like push the cars to get them out. So as much as it is true, and he said the CDC government fell in there. So what happened were these roads good before the CDC government came in and they didn't fix these roads because the UP was there for 12 years. What did they do with these rules? So I don't think, for me, I think that's not fair just to come to say, oh, these people failed, they didn't do this. What, you were there, what did you do? Why didn't you fix the road? If you knew it was not good, but yet you didn't fix it, and now you blaming other people for not fixing it, and that you say if you come back before you were doing, for all that left for the people who going to vote at the end of the day. We'll make the decision, and we're looking forward to getting a better Liberia. Yeah, so that's what I want to say for now.
Okay, well, I think the Liberal gonna definitely gonna come back at you, and let's see what he has to say because I see he's spinning in his chair already. Liberal,
Yeah,
you heard her argument. You
yeah.
were there before. Is it these rules we are talking about? Is that tonight's issue? Is it?
Valid argument.
Mhm.
Correct point. But here's the thing she's missing. Most of the roads that are there now, the good roads, all of the projects that have to do with road in Liberia, 99.5% of it were brought into the country, were accepted as a project through Madam Salif and Ambassador Baka Watch. The biomedicine came out. One of the things that every sedition, when they're sinking biomedicine, that President Weah was going to do everything. Number one, road. Number two, road. And he was going to do all he can with roads. So don't say now that the people were there 12 years, they didn't do road. No, they were there 12 years and they lay out the foundation, the road construction, the road designs, the process of building road. It doesn't happen in 6 years. I understand that. But the foundation were there for CDC. The foundation to build these roads have already been laid out for CDC. In fact, I would tell you this I know for sure. The road right now from Ganta all the way to Town or Zwadru, that road has already been designed. The only road that yet to be designed is from Zwadru to Fishtown. I was involved in that road until the crook in Liberia decided to take the project to somewhere else because they wanted more money. I know these stories because I was involved. So I know what I'm talking about.
Okay, all right. Hold on 1 second. I'm gonna bring in Terry. We have also here Carter is on the line. Oh, Carter, are you still there?
Yeah, I'm still there.
Okay, good evening. Welcome. I believe you listened to the Liberal. You listened to Esther. Let's hear you.
Yeah,
And
thank you
listen.
very much, Mr. So, and hi to Mr. To and Terry and my sister Esther. Uh, sometimes when these things happen with what they call about the road issue, it has to be somebody who have been, knowledgeable, like Mr. Toe is saying. Okay, let's agree that these roads were not, changed, but the road condition was not as bad as it is that we see now. We know that these roads were pliable. If it came to rainy season, you see maybe 1 or 2 days, you have like, when it rains, it's difficult to pass through, but right after the rain, you see people start flying the streets. But it had come to this term with this government that the condition had worsened. That's the problem. And like Mr. Toh said, the layout has already been there. It's like somebody has set up a foundation for you to, implement what they have, established. So this is why, we are blaming this government. It's not that the role was like quota, and they didn't do anything about it. But again, maintenance is very important. Even if this road was built and there's no maintenance, you will see the starts to, the road starts to rail, and then it would not be pliable. That's what we are talking about. Okay? So there are some things that when the responsibility is there that you take what they call the initiative, or you take priority over some other things. We saw that the road, okay, let's agree that the work that the Unity Party did was in 12 years. What we saw was in the 5 years what they have achieved before going to the next 6 years. That motivated people to have, voted the UP government for the second term. Unlike this government, it's not physically seen. It's not visible, rather, like you can say. You cannot see what they have is tangible. Like people will say, this is tangible, this is tangible. The priorities of things, it's not taken. And then where we come in, I'm not saying that we have been done do some of the things that, people say he did. Yes. But was it necessary at the time? No. Like look at where we talk about the hospitals. Okay? You have the GSK, you have the Tapeta, the Mola, and other referral hospitals like the PB. What you have done, try to equip this one, and then see when you attend it to the therapy, then you then build other ones to assist in the process. When you go to build a hospital, whereas the other hospitals you have do not have medication, do not have trained technicians or medical doctor or nurses to maintain that, then you just go like build another one. It makes no sense. That's the priority something we are talking about.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
Like so, for the road, like for the road, you see that is a major route, especially to the southeastern. That would have been a major issue right now that they were put that there, or they have undertaken, because you are touching on the whole southeastern right now with the bad road situation, especially coming to an election. That would have been one of the major things we have done. Because
so okay, let me hold you right there quickly here. So we're gonna have a broad-based conversation here. I see the guy, he brought in his portfolio here, but let me bring in Terry for why he going through his word, and then maybe Esther, you want to respond. Talking about these roads, and we know the genesis, the layout, the argument has been from Unity Party. So let me ask this question: was there anything laid out specifically with the southeastern road with respect to say, okay, this is the plan, this is the layout here, it needs to be done within the time frame? Like we've been arguing all of roads, they were already earmarked. Maybe the fundings were available. Was that in the case of the southeastern side? Maybe the Liberal can be the best one, saying he said he was involved. Do you think that was laid out and it was ignored by government?
I don't think that Ellen government had to fix a road project as the way they have for the Manikuma Highway, the Ganta to Monrovia Highway, I don't think that was a specific road project designated for the southeast, like going to Zwedru and going to Grand Coup County. But I believe that they had a road project that they were carrying on regularly by rehabilitating those roads and keeping it usable. There was a normal routine on those roads. There was a guy, or they call Miracle Ketter, if I'm not mistaken, one of the gospel musicians, husband. We sat together in Caldwell, and he was my friend. All right, and he said that he came to Europe to bring a company from Belgium that would have fixed the roads in Liberia, both to the southeast and even the Menikoma Highway. But they wanted a 25 years plan wherein they will be paying, people will be paying toll for the rehabilitation of the roads. When that deal went to the House, the legislature told them to give them some money. And based upon that, those people from Belgium withdrew, and that guy got frustrated. So those were some of the reasons why certain road projects never went through. But when I was in Liberia during the early time, people used to use the road to go to the southeast, especially to Grand Coup County and other places, only during the dry season. But to Zwedru, the road was usable.
So yeah, your argument why you holding GOL on is that they were saying they were not doing anything to maintain those roads, correct?
This government now is not doing anything major. You see, it's not about putting quota or putting
I get what you're saying. Yeah. So I mean, the argument they didn't do nothing. Yeah, they didn't do anything to maintain the roads, to do rehabilitations, do clearing, to do refilling those places that needed to fix those places. Is that something on the contrary? Before the Liberal coming, Esther, do you have something to say based on what you heard from Otto, the Liberal, and then Terry?
Yes, yes. Okay, so that's why we're having conversation and we're learning every day. Yes, I agree that the rules were laid out, they had a plan already by the Unity Party government. And at first, if we have a good network rule system, that will benefit everybody. Even though we're in the United States, but our families back home, people can transport themselves from point A to point B very easily. I worked with GD there, and I was in Zwedru, and you could see when we're traveling sometimes, the people have so much food on the side of the road selling all those bananas, plantains, oranges, everything was full because the people could not just travel easily to go and transport their things. So if the roads system work, that's fine for everybody. But I also think that if a government come in office, they could decide to say, okay, this is what people had before. I'm not going to do it. I'm going to do my own thing. But yeah, the CDC government still saw that and said, okay, this is a good plan. We're going to follow it. They didn't really follow everything. Not what people expected, but yet they did some. Or they could either say no, they're not going to do it, they're going to do their own play or start with something else that they could do. So yeah, I agree with what they said, but if what they saw, CDC also follow what they already had there.
Okay, follow what they already had there. I see the Liberal in his portfolio, his folder there. The Liberal. Any new evidence?
Yeah, well, thank you for. I didn't bring this thing to show anybody. Somebody wrote on here that said, "What do I have?"
Why you always like to pick up people? People just how you're here not saying nobody moved. They're here not saying anybody moved. So
exactly. But this is an intellectual platform. So when somebody come out and make a statement, I have to debunk that by showing that yes, indeed, I was involved. Now let me tell. Terry says something here that I'm going to disagree with.
Okay.
When when Erling first came to power, the Minister of Public Works was then Willie Knuckles, the late Willie Knuckles. And Willie Knuckles, just for seeking publicity or whatever it is that you were doing, there was a picture of him with a cardboard on a brown cardboard where they drew a red line crisscrossing Liberia as the road they were going to build. And Madame Sally took that seriously. She contacted a German company, and the company came to Liberia, and they did an excellent job surveying and laying out. They call that Liberia Infrastructure Master Plan. Anybody can look it up. You'll be able to find that. And in that master plan, they lay out the roads, how they're supposed to be connected, and what are some of the things they're supposed to do in order to be successful. That the previous government did not go far enough. However, it was based on that master plan that they were able to lay out Monrovia to Ganta, okay, and so forth. The only issue that I have with them was that if you're going to do something of such, why use the same alignment? The curve that Tommy Bolan died on back in the 70s, that curves, the radius, everything remained the same. Nothing has changed. So if you were to drive on our same road today, even though it's quota, everything asphalt, good, but if you were to drive on that same curve with that same speed, you're going to die. Nothing has changed. No sight distance, nothing. So that's besides that. So the point that I'm making, this, what I have in my hand, is called Fishtown to Harper. It actually starts from Babbletown. And if anybody know Grand Julia County, specifically Zwedru, Babbletown is about 5-10 miles away from Zwedru. And it starts from there, it goes to Fishtown. Now, when you get to Sino, I call it the forest. When you get there, there's a road that go to Sino. That also was supposed to be paved, but not all the way to Sino. I was involved in the project, and I went home and went all the way. I drove all the way from Monrovia all the way to Fishtown to do a feasibility study. I did that. I have my report here. So I know what I'm talking about.
What happens to that? We'll get a
that's
sense
what I'm getting to now. When time came, we were in partnership. The fellow that I'm helping was helping in Liberia. We were in partnership with another big engineering firm from South Africa. And they were supposed to come in and bring in some of their geotech guys and what have you. But I was going to be the main designer. So I was very excited. I mean, Grand Gide, and I'm going to be involved in a role. What in my engineering career, all the road that I'm putting around here in California, none of you guys will see it. But in Grand Gide, if I do something, people will see it. And that's what I was fighting. I was not there for the money. But anyway, after everything was done, public work, and this, many of you will remember, 2 years ago, public work had a fire in one of their offices in public work. And they said the documents that was supposed to produce this project and give the project to the people that were supposed to work, they said the document got burned. Okay, we have all the original, we have all the copy. Why don't you use the copy? They said, no, they're not going to use the copy. In fact, they decided to take that project.
Yeah, Lebron, I'm just...
And give it, hold on.
Lebron, I mean, this is a very valid information. I've never heard that before.
And you say you disagree with me, but I think you're going right back to where I was trying to go.
Well, okay, that one there, you will talk that.
Okay,
so
go ahead.
No, I just want to get to the bottom line here. The document got missing, and got burned, or whatever. Popular work got burned. And you guys, there were people willing to provide those documents. They said they were not what? They were saying
They said they were not acceptable because they were copies. So the minister herself was involved to try to this project was being funded by African Development Bank, by the way. So they decided whatever they did, and I just at that point I decided, because most of the people that are involved are also friends. So I decided I don't want to get involved. I will take myself out. And I spent a lot of money to drive, to go rent a car and everything, gas, pay other people way, pay the hotel bill to go all the way. I spent a lot of money, and you know about that, Mr. So. But that's besides the point. It's not about me spending the money. But when these jobs are to be done, they are looking for kickback. If you don't pay the most kickback, they take the project and give it to somebody else. You know who has the project right now? They give it to, I believe, an Italian company. And a fish town, Grand Zwadru to fish town, it will not even be done within the next 12 years. That's for sure. They haven't even started the design yet. Whereas if we were to be given the because when I went home, a surveyor was already there laying out the whole work from Zwadru all the way to Fishtown was almost done. Now,
why you think Ellen didn't do that project to Zwadru? Why you think?
Well, the reason for that, and Mr. So is quite aware of it. Hello, y'all want me to tell you to know?
No, there's no secret. I don't know why I'm just here. You always display different types of binos and all of that. This one, that one. So don't, when you were doing it, I was not part of it. So don't come put me into those fries.
This is why
there's no secret. We need to know these things here.
Right.
We need
in early administration, there's a friend of mine. I don't want to call him. I'm not going to call his name. But he used to be.
This is what I don't like about you. This sort of society.
Mr. Snow, when you start,
if we don't want to call names, then we can't continue the conversation. We don't have anything to hide.
If you start calling names, here's the reason. If you start calling names, those people try their best. This guy, a friend of mine, he was in Toll Town to assess the road from Toll Town to BI. In fact, he was in BI when he called me. With my cousin, my uncle's cousin that died, mind you, and called me from BI and said, we're trying to do a road assessment here.
Who is that?
This guy, when he came back, I asked him, what did he say that I can do to help? So he gave me another guy who was then in public work also, Jackson.
You know what
Jackson, I will call his name. So I called Jackson, who also happened to be a good friend of mine. He's from Nima County, but he's a friend. So I called him. What is it that we need to do? You know what he told me? Brian Jeter is not on the radar because the way Ellen has it set, Madam President have it set. If your county, places like Grand Jeter, they said they are not producing food. So there's no reason for them to concentrate putting road on that side when they are not producing food. So they tie road connectivities to food production. And because of that, the Southeast was left behind because there was no food as far as Ellen was concerned. That's the reason.
Do you think that was really the reason?
Yes, that's what I mean. That's what people from Ministry of Education.
Mr. So, can I just provide a little bit of information?
Okay, yeah. Before I'll go to the last. So if Grand Jeter can provide food, what becomes of the other counties that behind Grand Jeter? They were not providing any food too?
They were all in a sea area in terms of food production. In terms of food production.
You and I know that Ellen had a problem with the Grangidians.
But Ellen had a problem with the Grangidians. That was not a reason they gave me, Terry. They were not concentrating on that because of food production.
Terry, go your point. I want to ask one question. Let me go back to the line. Don't give up getting pieces here.
Yeah, like I said, and Labor don't want to come straight because apparently you feel you're going to hurt some people. But, you know, in as much as I support, these are some of the reasons why I support JMB. Because Ellen holds things a lot. And you know exactly what she did to the Grand Jeter. And she made sure that Grand Jeter were never, engaged. They were almost cut off from the rest of the country. Almost the same thing, President. We are doing the only difference with Ellen regime. She had those Pakistani guys that were always plying the rule. So as a result, the rule will always apply, and people are coming Grand Jeter.
But it has nothing to do with Ellen. That was the Elmail. Elmail, that was their job.
That's what I'm saying. That was one of her benefits because of Elmail. People did not notice that Ellen's intention was actually to cut off Grand Jida from the entire economy because she knew exactly what she was getting at. And that was the selfish part of her leadership that suffocated Grand Jida. They always voted for President Weah. So you see, so these were the things that I was trying to drive at. If you talk about, I did go business in Syria. I did go business in Middle East. I was in Grand Jida. That place produces knockout gold. So
He
they
knows
bring
about
resources to the economy.
the mountain. He knows about it.
So how can you
I
tell
was
us that
involved.
no food was going to the plate, so they will not build?
Document fixing stuff on that.
Okay,
Yeah.
so quickly, let me go to the phone lines here. But quickly before we do that, do you, based on what they told you, and I know that's the revelation that you are providing here, but do you honestly within yourself believe what they told you was the point?
The what? Do I what?
Don't act like you're not hearing what I'm saying.
Mr. Soap, I'm sorry. Please say it again.
My question is, the information you are providing to us, telling us what they told you, that Grand Jida more or less is now resourceful in terms of food production. Do you honestly, genuinely, Mr. Total, is that the reason? Do you believe that?
No.
What do you think the reason was?
I believe Ellie came in being vindictive against a certain group, Southeast to be specific, and I believe that her intention was to make sure Southeast get the minimum, not the maximum, and so that's what I believe. But she's a very smart lady, so she made it into a policy, not to hate, but to tie the food production as being reason why she would not target those areas in terms of road connectivity. And it makes sense to the international community. Why were you?
Okay, let's get some minerals. Let's get a few reactions from the phone lines here. Esther, are you there?
Why can't talk plenty here tonight, man? I know, man.
You hear in the library a true confection.
Come again?
Yeah, you heard the liberal, you heard the argument. Do you have anything to say? And that bringing the next one.
So if they're saying that the Southeast didn't have much food to produce, I would also say that if we didn't have food to produce from the Southeast, then the people that are producing the food could still travel there. And road connection make it easier. You don't have to produce food, you still produce other things that people will need or you have natural resources that other people will need. So if, for example, Nova are producing food and the road was connected, I can go to Nova, get things, come and sell the people from Nova can come and buy there. So but again, everything sometimes is politics but I think for the Southeast there we still got food, we still got things that the other people will need. Yeah.
Okay, let's go down here. Let's see here. 832 and Jerry are going to be coming to you. 832 number 6351. Good evening, caller. What's your name and where you calling from?
This is Melvin Brown calling from Des Moines, Iowa.
Mr. Don, welcome to the show. Let's hear you.
Thank you. Mr. To always, this unity party guys, they always try to throw my Eddie on the bus. But whenever good news, we're talking about all the good news, Ganta to Margaret to Ganta Road, and then they want to bring my Eddie and Joe Barker. Mr. To is probably trying to tell us that Joe Barker, which Charles Bronski called him a racist black Liberian before, simply trying to say Joe Barker told my Eddie that there was no food coming from Grand Jida.
No. I'm going to interrupt him right away.
Listen.
You shouldn't allow him to get away with that.
Wait a minute. No, we can't say that. Why you?
But that's not what I've said.
Yeah, but you're gonna still speak. Remember, just how you're here not in people's mouth, other people here not in your mouth.
No, but they want the man who talking here in my mouth. A hefe in my mouth, I will chew it.
Yeah, total man. So how you want to leave your country your own? Yeah, when your children toss on in there, want you there? Oh, that might be what's here. What kind of business?
These are the guys I want to take over Liberia.
Go ahead. I'm just joking.
It's kind of funny that all these old houses is left behind. The young people are now coming in and building brand new houses and requesting for road construction to connect the road for us, so that we the young people can build our houses. A young man can move from Lima County and go to Brangida and buy a land there and build a multi house. Joe Barker is on record. Go to Child Bruskin video in the days, I believe 2017 or before.
Yeah.
Go there and listen to that video. Joe Barker refused to pick anybody else who loved Congo. That's what this guy is saying. He's trying to prove it, but he's not trying to he's trying to throw my Eddie under the bus to say my Eddie said. But we all know who said that, because my Eddie she's not a type of person. That old lady is not a type of person. So Joe Barker told the people, y'all forget Grand Gina, y'all forget the Southeast. He even told them that they should forget the old hometown local, which George we are now facing.
But is it fair? Is it quickly before I go to comments here? Is it fair to say that Ambassador Boykato was not aware of that, or what do you think?
How will you say he was not aware? He was aware. The guy was aware. I mean, the old man was aware. He just this guy don't like anybody. He just like himself. That's what it is.
Okay, thank you so much. Let's break in comments, and then the Liberal, you can respond to it. But please, we shouldn't be getting in fight with our people here. You sit down here, you talk your tabata and hoo, nobody say anything. Somebody call for 1 minute, then your blood pressure, your cholesterol, everything rising. Please, we don't have insurance for that. Legendary comments.
Yes, sir.
How are you, Chief?
So, how are you?
Great.
I'm doing good.
Here we are again. Here we are again. I know that replay or the 14 here. Is this deal settled down here? Or after this thing, we're going to come back here to have a different conversation. Oh, this person will have done this. Or we will begin to identify blame games.
Look, Mr. So, I'll say something quickly. Let me say good evening to Terry and Mr.
Yeah,
Toll.
perfect comments. How you doing?
The die is cast. If you follow elections in Liberia, you'll know that the Unity Party will pull this stuff. The only way I said it cheap. If you really follow elections in Liberia, and one thing I know, this election is one of those elections in our country that have produced hate, ethnicity, biased behavior, and violence more as compared to any election that are covered or elections that I read about in Liberia. Some people will say no, but I will say yes. Because looking at where the Unity Party came from, they were struggling in some end, right? In terms of PR trying to water down the whole situation with the conflict that was in the CPP. Ambassador Joseph Gima Boaka, as a journalist, Ambassador Joseph Gima Boaka and the UP were not in the limelight like that. It was Alexander Cummings who was saying all over the place, including the incumbent. They were doing a lot.
Correct.
It took the UP some time to catch a rhythm. So looking at what transpired during the first phase of the election, you can tell with the conglomeration of players now they're having, even though I don't want to speak about what I said as a pastor, but I want to speak tonight as a journalist, somebody who's staying in the country and follow election and know some of the players. Like I always say to people, when you know the players, you can tell the game. And for some of us, we see the players, we could tell the game that deception was being played at a higher peak. But it's just that some of the players, they were not too familiar with these players who they pull for. Unity Party, the 2005, the propaganda machinery was strong. You're talking about Medina Wisa, Commonwealth Wisa, you just name them. As compared to the young folks they have today, they were still trying to catch the rhythm of propaganda. But now, I can tell you that it's going to be a competitive race, but looking at all indications, the Unity Party might likely pull this thing.
So quickly, before I go back to the analysts here, is the ties, and I kind of agree with you because Unity Party were almost like on life support. And I think we had a conversation here, Terry. There's came a time the whole ties changed, and that momentum has still been kept in place. So my question is, it commensurate with the momentum that we saw in the early stages of the 2017, and it became evident, it was glaring, and people caught the cake way ahead of the game that this was all going to be about CDC. As Unity Party reached that stage, that we can now say the tires change. Can we say that now?
Oh yeah, you can see that the time has changed. You can see where the momentum is going. Mr. So you've been a journalist, you follow events, right? When you go to a school and a cabinet minister or a president is ruling a country, that is a clear indication that when the marketers and students are not in favor of you, then the writing is clear on the wall. But just before I leave, I want to ask Mr. Toa this question. Mr. Toa, I must commend you, I must salute you in this public manner, right?
For waiting.
Compared to previous public works minister, your engineering skills, I follow some of your little pictorial videos you did. But let me ask you this question, though. Let's look at the work that Chico did in Liberia in terms of the rehabilitation of our roads, the redoing of the road from all around Central Monrovia, and the recent feeder road constructions in our country. Let's, as an engineer, in terms of durability, longevity, you think the roads that Madam Salif did and the feeder road that President Weah, they both stop or brag about today, can be comparable to that of the work that Chico did in Conakry, Guinea, in terms of durability and longevity? Thank you, sir.
Okay, the Liberal want to respond?
No. There are three of them. The road that was done in Conakry, I don't know much about that, but just looking at the pictures and things like that, they did a wonderful job. The road that was done under Madame Salif, they were done by male involvement, and so they had some serious work that was done that would last for some time. This government, and I'm not saying it because of hate.
The same company that did a road in Conakry, the same Chico company that did a road in Conakry was the same group that are doing most of the roads in Central Monrovia. Wow.
And here's the difference. Here's the difference now. The roads that are being, and I'm not saying it from the perspective of hateful behavior or whatever, but this government, because they asked for kickback from the construction company, and the construction company, if they give you kickback, they will give you substandard material. And this is exactly what we see. Look at Dole Community, the road that was built, beautiful road. When President Weah went to dedicate that road, everyone saw it, how shiny it was. But I knew it wasn't going to last because the material that was used was substandard. And that's the way most of the stuff is being built. Look at Ralphie Highway. Look at the bedding material they're using. The bedding material, what's his name? Sir Joseph used on his own road. They're much 100% better than the bedding material that is being used on Ralphie Highway. I know so because I've seen it. So I'm just saying there's two different things here, different thing. So we just have to accept what is given up, but it's not going to last.
So, and what I agree with, this one, it seems to be a tough one, but I don't want to get ahead of my shadow here. But when you talk to folks inside Liberia, we know it is the southeastern side resurrected the president's political career. It not been the intervention or the overwhelming vote of the southeasterners as a whole. It would have been out here. And now it's a challenge. We all know the runoff is not as much momentum as compared to these sort of traditional election, and even getting people to those places now, it's difficult. It's not like you are in Nima or Bon County. You can leave from Moria, go the same day and do your votes. You can't try that. And I'm hearing people are making preparation. They're going to be going about 3 days ahead of time, just in case of any eventuality, to make sure to get there the Tuesday. That is still that is still troubling, because those rules are terrible. So I'm not sure how they're going to get how they're going to work out. I'm interested to see the numbers that are going to be coming from the southeastern side this time around here. I think that's where so Cummings, Jerry, are you still there? Oh, Jerry, okay. Cummings, are you still?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, all right. No, okay, but with this here, the messages coming from both sides. The liberals say here that the establishment, there is no message. Is it fair to say that they do not have a message as well?
Say that again.
The liberal elder, he was saying here that GOL does not have a message because they fail in his interpretations. And that is it fair to say that they do not have a message?
Well, they have a message. They're running with what the wired fees. They're running with what do you call the thing? Harmonization. They're running with the scholarship scheme that they made in place, that they send doctors abroad. They build markets. They got feeder rules. So they got to sell their product, their commodity. So they got message. You can say they don't have. They do. They have message.
Okay.
And, one of the guys there, that Costa was the one that brought the UP to presidents. No. When you talk about propaganda is different from popular relation.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. Amos George from Atlanta, Georgia is in the house. Samson Tobin batching, smashing your name here. You're running away from him and all kinds of stuff here, but good to hear. Good evening, Pa George. Welcome.
How you doing, Mr. So, Mr. and Terry?
I want you to watch and listen to Mr. Soto now. It's going to change. Now that this other central right is here, Mr. Soto approach to me now is going to change. I want you to watch and you study it so you will know. Go ahead, Mr. So.
You finished? Mm-hmm. You're afraid of Pa George? Come on, George, go ahead.
No, I said, how you doing?
Yeah, oh, great. 6 days, man. 6 days for the ball to drop. So here we are. What is coming? Is he in the States or is he in Liberia?
Mr. George, could you please let me answer the one caller that called earlier, please?
Sure, go ahead.
Okay. The caller said that I stated that Ambassador Bakai was involved in a statement that I made, which is public record, that the alien government, they were not going to engage in terms of road connectivity on the southeast because of no food production, according to what I got, the information I got from the Public Works Ministry at the time. Now, I'm not saying that Ambassador Bakai is involved. Now, if all of those things, if you take those into consideration, Ambassador Bakai will come publicly to distance himself, to say that I was parked in his garage. That is the form of distancing himself for all that was wrong in this government. And in fact, he also said, you can only advise. I can't do anything else. He told us this. So for this young man to come out, Mr. So, for this young man to come out and make this kind of ridiculous statement of Liberian Public Radio against me, that is not just, but it's unacceptable. And this man should be ashamed of himself. I do not take people who will come on this public platform and try to make some things that are just a make-up story because you want a political favor. I'm not here for Kumba here, and nobody here for my mouth. My hair ain't in your mouth. This man was wrong, and he has no business being on LPR.
Not so. You just confess here that the man here was in. You're gonna fail your man. You more ridiculous every other day, and then somebody just says something one you want to. As far as we are concerned, we yet to know there's no memoir. There's nothing that really he differ with that of Ambassador Boyka. You just use the phrase back in the garage.
We tired with those things, and we tired with them. Yeah, we're gonna be We're gonna be on that end.
Let me say something to Mr. Toll.
Yeah, man. Go ahead,
That
Josh.
statement. The minister that told you that, I don't know the minister, but he didn't give you the full detail, the content of that statement. If you go, you listen to Amara Quinn, he gave full details of how the road project started. He said when they took over, the government made a decision that the most populated area, 60% of the population, was in the Maserati bomb at the inner area. So the plan was they should build those roads there first, then the phrase will go out to the other area that are not densely populated. That was Minister Conner's statement. So the minister, whoever minister told you, he didn't complete that statement. Maybe he just told you something to please you. But I'm not going to say that was the context in which they started the development project. All those feeder roads and things, he said that hospitals, schools and things, they took into consideration the densely populated area, how to reach the area first. That Akambaso and Nima were the first phase they were undertaking. So it was not that they were not concentrating in the southeast. No. You may not like somebody, but say what is true. That's what the minister said. Furthermore, there were funds secured for the project already again. And your new senator-elect said something.
Who?
Yaya Nimle.
Oh yeah, I listened to some on piece or whatever.
What you call it? Terry, this is why I always say leaders should speak with clarity.
Speak by Josh.
He not taking Jeremiah Kuhn word that Jeremiah Kuhn said prosecute people from Grand Gilead.
What?
Yeah, I think I posted it.
I got a video. In fact, I reached out to him.
What he said? He said because of that, he don't know the kind of justice that a Jeremiah Kuhn come to power with me and so against the people of Grand Gilead. And now you see how dangerous this man who now coming to the Senate. You see the line he put in? That because of that, even though George Weah had not done anything for Grand Gideons, but they will still vote for him because they know him. And George Weah had assured him that the funds for the road has already been secured, but it's just a matter of implementation. Now the question to Honorable Nimle, if the funds are secure, 6 years, why has not been implemented? So Samuel Tua told us that before the election, that road was going to be paved. He's on tape for that. He told us 3 years' time. Samson Doe, we discussed it here. We said it was not possible. Samuel Tua said, but it was possible. In 3 years, the road was going to be paved. Now, how can that person, when it's telling the senator-elect that, the funds are being secured, but it's the issue of implementation. If the fund is secure, what is the government portion? Because the only way the project will not be implemented, except government cannot meet up with a quota. Their portion is also paid. But the senator not saying, because of that, he said, the statement Jeremiah Kuhn made is something to put fear in Grand Gilead, and therefore, he appealed to Grand Gilead to vote for George Weah, even though his words, George Weah had not done anything, but it's promised, but it's not certain. Now, is that the kind of politics we want in our country? Now, tell me, so if somebody in Grand Gilead committed a crime, they should be above the law, unapproachable?
Okay.
Is that what you're saying?
No,
because
but
so
yeah, but George, also detail. I think I will try to see what I can play here. There are some other details.
This is very dangerous for our country. There's nobody, what you should talk about administering transparent justice. But he did not say, when you say justice being administered in the democratic process, we know what it's supposed to look like. And that's why I'm saying, leader, when you're speaking, you must be very careful. Because it is the context in there.
Okay, yeah, there are other things to say, which also give detail. I don't know if we have the time we can play it, but let me, yeah, go ahead quickly.
Yeah. So that is what I'm seeing. This is not a line to push. If you want to support George Weah, that's perfect. You can tell people to support him.
Simple.
But you cannot use one line to use it as a weapon to tell people because this man said this, therefore
That's propaganda, man.
we got to be no. This is dangerous for our country. We got to be therefore afraid because
Politics.
when they get to power, we don't know what kind of justice will be administered to us. What he talking about? If someone in Grand commit a crime, someone in Lofa County commit a crime, are they above the law? No. You should be talking about transparency, how the justice. But you telling your people now that is fear to put in them. That if you dare vote for Joseph Boakai, when they get to power, every Nigerian will go to jail. That's what he meant.
Well, yeah, what happens too, though? I don't know if you listen to the full text. There's some other information. There were some other concerns that he raised, and that has to do with the same very statement we denounced, we all rejected here. And he was speaking from the context as this person who is the number 2 person saying that, not playing like a twin father, but we can play to that. We can play that, and it's a very long time. In fact, they reached out because when I listened to that, when I saw that too, I said, well, I think I need to have a conversation. He responded, but nothing yet still on it. But
Yeah,
I
but
see
so the content and Jeremiah Conspo, I was one of the first person. Even I said that should be played as commercial and Grand did it. He said that children was sold in Basel for $5, and the people of those children need justice. Now, I came out to challenge it. I said he must prove it. Now, what is there that Minister Yaya, landed person, will say this man, if they come to power, everybody Grand Judge want to be put in jail? Is that real?
Okay, we're going to listen to some SS, but let me go to comments here. Comments you call by. Let's hear you quickly, and then I'm going to play a few.
I don't want to buttress something I just said earlier on about deception, right? And people who come into leadership must speak with clarity. Thomas Nimland, Senator Nimland, is also on record, okay, when he served as foreign minister, where Liberian passports were sold to foreign seafarers as compared to Liberians. He is also on record. Go read the last accord calling for the establishment of war and economic crime court. But he had done all of those things. But this man is going to represent his people in the Senate. And so that's why when you look at the entire election, you see deception at a higher peak. You understand? We see it at a higher peak.
Okay. Thank you so much. Let's listen to a little SF. Let's see here.
Presence of Honorable Jeremiah Kuhn statement with the media, and that make you to say no, then it's not in our interest. In case Honorable Kuhn, that will not be good for your people.
When blind man tells you that he's going to chung you a rag, that means you're already stepping on it.
Okay.
Jeremiah Kuhn is not a child. He's a sitting senator. And the role of a senator is not to destroy the nation. The role of a senator is not to seek justice. The role of the senator after post-war Liberia is to reconcile and bring development so that the young people can be taught a new life. That is a plan. It's a negative plan that he has made. I'm not sure who is advising him, but that's something that never happened. So if it did not happen at all, then why were you created in your own mind? And not even come to the realization that, hey, I want to be a vice president of this. Sooner or later, I'm going to become president. I need to come out as a responsible and mature adult who wants to lead this country. He has not yet become president and he's acting reckless already. So why should I support him? And why should you support him?
how much?
First recommendation we talk about was reconciliation. I have to go to reconciliation first before you talk about justice. When you take off the reconciliation and the minority of the people that will remain in that process who will be seeking justice, then you give them justice. Well, you're not gonna. Who is he seeking justice on? So why are you talking about justice? From where are you going to seek that justice? And how many times are you going to seek this one justice? Justice for so long, and we just got a free little time from 2003 up to present, which is roughly about 23 years. It was just yesterday that we decided that we wanted peace and we got democracy. Okay. And just 2 presidents served under serving the presidency. So we are anxious to make Jeremiah vice president so that he becomes president tomorrow. Then we don't know now. Then you got rat poison in your pocket, and you after the food also you want to kill us. We should support you to kill us. We can. And I made an offer. Come to Grand Judah, talk to the radio shows just like I'm doing right now, and recant and try to erase your footprint. That hasn't happened. So if it hasn't happened, then it means that he has made up his mind.
Okay, so meaning.
Okay.
Good.
That was a fascinating interview. Samson, do you get a rap person with you? You want person by George?
No, let him put a person in the water.
So I hope eventually he will accept our invitation.
But let me push back on that, man. What do he mean by 23 years? So there should be no more justice. That's what he's saying. When he thinks there should be justice, Freetown had, I think, the Nazi war camp. Today they're still prosecuting people. So is there a timeline on when people commit a heinous crime? That should be a timeline. That's what he's saying.
You know, let me just say this here. Yes, there was an article in Front Page Africa, Daily Observer a few weeks or so ago, where they pointed out that Liberians continue to gravitate towards people who are not considered to be straightforward person in a society. You have Honorable Yahya Nimler, who for many consider him a hero. You have Prince Johnson, for many, he's a hero. You have Dr. Bole, for many, he's a hero. But what happened during the TRC consultation process? There were many of these people that had the opportunity. Someone, Yahya Nimler, used to be a nurse here in the United States, RN, making good money. He didn't have to go to Liberia, but because of what was happening to his people. And then he decided, I'm going to have to participate so that my people would be saved. Meaning, it's the same thing with Prince Johnson. I keep saying this here on this show. But my thing is, what I differ with them is this. Why we know you have a reason to get into this. But you need to explain to the Liberian people if you're seeking redemption. Explain to them. I didn't just get one money and say, I'm going to go to war. There were things that were happening that were not good for our people. Somebody have to stand up. And I did. That would be a plausible explanation. And many Liberians were allowed that. But here he is now. Instead of coming up, knowing full well your participation in the war, now you're saying to Jeremiah Cone, who had made that ridiculous statement, and I think we all went ahead here and condemned him on this. But now you're saying, because of that, you want to play politics with it, which Jeremiah Cone opened the door for that. So I'm not blaming him for that. But I thought the point he was supposed to make is to say, if anybody wants justice, and whatever form that is coming out of Liberia, if it's not suitable, let's find a means, whether we bring a war crime court or whatever it is that Liberians agree on, that we will be able to resolve this thing so that we will be able to leave this putting children in the well and all that kind of stuff and put it behind us. I thought that perhaps would have been a statement, but to come out now to say the man had poison in his pocket, do you understand that language?
And you say you want to kill,
but I don't know whether you remember.
Writing this man in Granjide, who you believe has the right person in his pocket. So you want him to come and Granjide the person in the water so that people will die?
No, I don't know. I think you haven't a misinterpretation. You are far from reality. In the first place,
I am being ridiculous. I am being ridiculous.
Hold on one second. I'm coming. The Prince Johnson, the Yaya Bole, we hosted. The only person we have not talked to here is Senator Prince Johnson. We talked to Bole yet. We hosted Yaya Nimley when you were contesting, not this Senate 2017 when he was contesting. All of them to get their own defense line. Prince Johnson has provided their own, unless I don't know how people want them to explain. They have their own reason, whether it satisfies our curiosity or it meets the standards of ordinary people. They have their own reasoned defense line for which they participate. So I mean, because there's a tape here. We interviewed Yaya Nimley before. We can trace that and find out. But with this new development, what he's saying, based on what he heard, so I wish that we have an opportunity he will accept our invitation here too to explain. Maybe there's much deeper part to it, because I listened to that video. The guy was asking some good questions. I don't know what's about the information, but you heard that part where, in fact, he said Senator Cohn, people reached out to him, and then he said it was not about him. Right, so he was offering him, which you just heard him saying that he should go, but I think based on all of the things that he gathered too, that what he is saying, that's not justification of his action. All of them, they are putting their own defense line of things they did, which they felt that it was good for their people.
Yeah, but Mr. So let me push back. If Senator like Yaya had any other information,
police director,
he's supposed to tell the Liberian people, but he can't tell somebody. He said that Jeremiah Spoon spoke like that. And he not saying that Jeremiah, not even quoting Jeremiah, he said that Jeremiah will kill the Nigerians. That's his word. It's on the tip right there. Now, what is the evidence? He's talking about person. He talking about Jeremiah will kill Nigerians. He said, I reached out to him. Jeremiah had visited Nigeria before. If you reach out to him and he did not respond or accept your invitation, so if that would be your line of response as a senator, and you have been one of the major players in the Liberian Civil War, Jeremiah did not take part in the war. As far as I'm concerned, there have been no evidence. Prince Johnson took part in the war. Yaya Nimley served in the war. He served as foreign minister or so, whatever. So is that a statement for him to make as a diplomat this time? And furthermore, to say that what kind of justice people want to see 23 years? Oh, Mr. Nimley. So those innocent lives are lost. There should be no accountability for it because it's been 23 years. Is that what you're saying?
Mr. So can I just say something to this?
Yeah,
can I
say
a few things to this? Yeah, I think in as much I know I'm not from that side of the planet, or I do believe that the Nimbarians and the people from Grand County are not going to easily agree because they both don't trust one another. The two group of people, these two ethnic groups do not trust each other. So no matter what the Nimbarian people say or do, they're not gonna easily work with them. All right, especially the people from Granjide. I don't want to believe that majority of the Granjide are going to vote for Ambassador Borka. I was even shocked to see that Ambassador Borka got, I think, 2,000 votes from Granjide. To me, it was surprising. And if he can step that up, I think it will be a great game. But I do not expect majority of the Granjidians to vote for Ambassador Borka only because of Jeremiah Kuhn present with the alignment of Prince Johnson. These two people do not trust one another. So obviously, what he's saying, he could be right from the standpoint of defending the fear and the lack of trust that he have for the people from Nima County. And the way they process things, the war brought a lot of divide that is difficult to easily just get rid of. So from his standpoint, we also got to look at it from his standpoint. There were people who died. People died. People lost their life in this process. And these people are very close. And now he's looking at a possible precedent coming from Nima County. The Grand Judeans, I doubt it strongly that they are comfortable with this. I don't believe that they are comfortable with this. So as a result, until Jeremiah Kun can prove them wrong, fully pull their weight behind.
Terry, let me push back something very quick, Mr. So.
You always pushing back. You don't move any here. You're pushing, keep move.
No, let's listen straight. Your narrative is not fully right. Do you know how many Malian in Grand Jide now?
That's not why he's saying. That's why he's saying.
He should not, Mr. Todd, he should not wrap the thing all around everybody.
What do you mean by everybody?
But he said,
how would I say everybody?
He said no. Every Grand Jide they will not get together.
So look, the thing about A here.
Let that be clear, Moose. That's why I said when we're speak with clarity. It's not everybody. Against people.
What Terry
is
saying?
On the majority level. The Malian right now in Grand Jide, making farm and working, living there.
No, Amos George, we understand. We know that. Even look, the thing.
What you're saying is not true.
In my own village town, there are Nimayans there. We have these. No, look, you the one coming push on.
No, you can't push me because you're trying.
Yeah, I will push you because you push.
They can't come in the ear, baby. Which is not correct. When you make
it's not a matter of that. You see, this is why you.
Let's watch the show. The show is about regular happy. Go ahead, Mr. So push by.
Okay, I will speak. Don't mind. What Terry is saying, Terry is taking a push in a real wartime. Not like you and myself, especially those who never held anything like a weapon and all of that. They have a different picture, different mindset about it. But these people who physically participated went into combat, exchange fire, front line, and their own people by their right-hand side, left-hand side, they saw them falling. It's not easy as much for them for you to say they can just easily reconcile that you and myself who really didn't, who were just because from our administration.
My son got killed in this process.
Hey man, Amos George. I'm not saying it's not important. I am not saying, listen. I'm not saying it's not important.
What is the statistics of the amount of votes that went for President Weah 2017 and also 2023? Can you tell me the total amount of votes?
You see, so let me say that maybe he have not had a chance to talk to people from inside. I am just telling you the way, and I've already said, and I think we had this conversation here, and we were arguing why Ambassador Boyka cannot go to the very southeastern or specifically Grand Jide. Look, in everything in our daily lives, whatever we do in and out, security is very, very key. And I reassuring, you can reassure persons it's not guaranteed whether it's going to even happen. But we cannot root out the bitterness, the resentment, whatever existed 10, 15, 20 years ago. Those feelings will still be there, and people will still have that cloud. And this is the regret of the whole TRC, the approach they took. Maybe if they had done it the Sierra Leone side, where all of those major actors that never participated, were not giving authority, and all of that, even where Yaya is sitting, Prince Johnson said, we're never going to come. Prince Johnson, Joseph Boyka has a commentator, Prince Johnson, is there any way that we can say there will be a war crown court? No, because I would say Prince Johnson as a politician now, before he can give us support, you got to be straightforward with him. You got to give him assurance. That guarantee got to be there. I don't know what that has been discussed, but most likely that is the issue. The reason you see people taking side here is what is there for them first before the country. I can tell you that. You think people just get
Listen.
and go and trust people and just get there, say, oh, for country, what kind of country? At the same time, they get it, next day they start doing the same stealing thing, and then will come back and start having this headache. But I don't think you should have put that forward as the person. But this is what people see themselves when they represent people, and they want to see themselves as a fighter. I will still do it for you. I will still protect you. And you don't know. I mean, it is what it is, but there's no way that we can deny that fight. We don't want it to continue. It has to go away. We need to have responsible leaders. And that's what he said. He said, this man, he wants to be the vice president. Okay, it's not about reaching out to me. So you can't even also ignore his own thing. And what he tries to do is say, hey, go there so you can reassure the people. We all said that here. He has never even taken apology. I think one time the Grand Jury Association president, Edith, the brother, they had a conversation with Senator Kuhn, and he provided an explanation. This lady called on Spoon Network, blew it out. Who are they for them to call people? This guy wants to be a leader. And so if there was something that was said for a specific group of people who he or she wants to lead, and there seems to be a different interpretation, he has the right. He did the right thing. But guess what? They were getting back at him while he went to the meeting, and they want to question him, blah, 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 blah. All right, guys, we got to go.
Yeah, but I mean, look, I get it. But hand is not clean. His hand is not clean. So one will count everything will count clean hand. So yeah, man, it's not possible.
Do he understand that language you speak?
You know what?
Don't go there.
Don't be ANC because they're not going to be police chief. They're going to be horrible.
That's it too. How many person you shot? How many times you had AK-47 RPG?
No, I never did that, but I was fully involved.
So don't because people use word, fine. But it's not as it's just those people who commanded people to kill innocent people for either side.
Here's the thing you have to understand.
That's the part we are talking about.
You have to understand that, Mr.
You cannot be part of the problem and thinking that because you want to please the people and you say something horrible on the other side when you know your hand is not clean.
So who you think the argument of Senator Prince Johnson all along, who you think you were doing it for? Why you think he's being consistent?
For his own protection. I bet you, maybe suppose I come and surmise that maybe person we are assuring that there'll be no war crime code. As long
as the man is doing it for the people that support him.
I'm just simply telling you, you have to present yourself as a fighter to the people. So whatever he's saying there,
I get it. That people believe. Some people believe, some citizens from Nima believe Princeton was a liberator. Some people believe Jaya Nima from Grand Day is a liberator. But what I'm seeing here, you can't come and tell me, say, 22 years is too long. Nobody should think about justice. I was the first person who found Jeremiah Kuhn's statement here on this show. I was one of those.
He said after 23 years, what form this justice that we're all seeking, what form would it take?
So, what form he think it would take?
No, you tell us.
No, he didn't even. He said it. He asked the question and answered the question. He said, "What form he would kill all Nigerians?" He answered it.
No.
But George, you got to also.
No, guys, let's go on. You put in short transfer on the thing here, and
you played it when he asked what form. Then he said Jeremiah will kill all Nigerians.
Friday will go in depth. I'm just Friday we're going to play.
And I'll bring you on tomorrow. I'll come on show.
Because you know me.
Who, me or Pa Josh?
I'm a double-edged sword. I don't play.
You see a kind of me. Maybe he's a double-edged sword.
I don't play around here. I tell you,
I want to eat it 75K for nothing.
Yeah, let it eat it.
The puppet. They say the puppet eat for the 45K too.
And formula some pay for it. And formula endorse Joseph Burger and Joe we are firing.
I don't think that for that though.
What for that? I posted a video. You didn't see a video I posted in the chat room.
So
the formula guy that Baba formula son?
Yes.
That's his son. He related.
You mean H. Boyma formula?
That's a genius.
Yeah, they related. I think they related, but I don't know if that's his son. But they are related.
I'm telling you, age, but my phone that is junior there. Check
Yeah,
his
they
profile.
related.
No.
Check
That
the
one.
profile.
We can check that.
Check
I
the
don't know
profile.
that his son, but I heard that they related.
So
I mean,
the
I
man
don't.
spoke. The video was live. I saw it. I posted it the other day.
So they ain't firing because of the woman at the embassy. They firing because of Ambassador Baga being
That's an alibi now. That's an alibi to fire him.
You say what? You say he did what? He did
The
what?
woman at the embassy, because the woman called him when the police, when Mrs.
Yeah, you say he endorsed. You say he endorsed Ambassador Baga.
The senior.
Oh, okay, yeah, because HB Formula, who is the former deputy minister, he was United Partisan, but then he joined CDC and all of that. Okay.
So I was watching the video live.
I mean, they are being that sort of rough edges with he and Minister Kamiya. I don't see the reason why he will put himself in the middle of
the
them.
girl called when the Mrs. Glade ordered her not to enter the building. So she and the police were in back and forth. So she said she will call the president or the foreign minister.
When your man were endorsed.
Who?
You know your man when you were endorsed.
Who man?
ABCD.
I don't know who we call ABCD.
Okay.
But
John want to be ABCD.
Oh, let me move the D there. ABC.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't remember people's name abbreviation.
Oh, and now you don't know people abbreviation. The Omega get drafted. You? Wow. Really, Emma Joyce? You don't remember people abbreviation?
So when Pajot become 100, I don't know what will happen because when you come there,
I think yeah, he would never be. He can't be.
I don't say that. Don't say never be, because
no. I would be the first person to lead that protest against him. Because you will not even investigate. As soon as they hear the call you need, they're going to put you inside for before anything.
Here's the thing here. I believe in everybody's rights. I don't ever trample upon anybody's rights.
No,
but what I don't like people to be dubious in their dealing. That's my problem. If I wrong you, I'll tell you, say, hey, I wrong you, sorry.
I will talk to the boycott force when they win. We'll still take you to Salala.
No. Terry, then yeah, I just want to be going to Liberia. Go and do my tabata and come back. That's all.
You won't be able to go to Liberia?
Who? Boycott?
All right, guys. So thank you so much. Have a pleasant
too, yeah.
All right, thank you. Liberal, we'll see you on Friday, right?
No, you say coming tomorrow.
I'll be on tomorrow.
Yeah, I said Friday. No, usually Thursday. I'm not that, but I'll
join you. I don't expect to see you, Mr. George, either on tomorrow. All by myself. I bring in Terry and I don't even bring in Mali. Mali calling me now, but I'll not even call him. I will not pick up a phone.
Why?
So
because say, how come he ain't get nothing? But you forgetting to know that his patron was running the show tonight.
No, but I send the link out to everybody.
Samson told the other day you are begging me. So all patron come on my 1 year.
I don't think so. I assume maybe you visit tonight, but I send the link out to everybody. So do you have a last word before we go?
Talk, Mr. George.
Yes,
so I'll be on tomorrow. I'm going on the same platform. So
okay, deliver 1 minute.
Let's have a wonderful conversation.
Okay, let her make her final statement before we go. Yeah, go ahead quickly.
Yeah, I think it was a great show, and I just want to encourage our people. These elections will be over. The way people are going at each other, just being disrespectful, like they didn't know each other before. We should just cool it down. After these elections, we'll still be here. Those people getting in power or will stay in power, they will still do what they usually do.
Right.
And justice, I don't think justice has a term limit. So
right.
Even if it's after 50 or 70 years, yeah, we should still have justice for those who were affected or in any way have been affected. So I don't think justice have a limited time. And that's what we can see today. They still persecute people for the Holocaust,
right.
in America here and other countries. They still persecute people like Liberians and people in the war in other countries. So I don't think there's a limited time for that. But it was a great show, and let us keep the peace, and we will. I can't wait for this show to be over. And Mr. So please leave ANC alone. Thank you so much.
Oh God. Yeah, is it
alone. Just leave it.
So who had that money? Who really care that money? Yeah, so people can be lucky in life, oh. Free money.
Costa and Joseph Boakai.
Louis Brown guy, I don't know we say online guy for nothing money can they feel guy we tire suffering. I hear you put money and you say you tire suffering. Why because of scam people in our country? I tell you, it's so sad. All the people we see now were so bitter, causing one another.
That's why it's so difficult to make political deal with these people, because you can't trust nobody. They are not trusted.
But you know how much money President we are ate from Mr. Ure? Mr. Ure wanted to go as VP under President we are. President we are ate his money and dashing. That is how they've been doing. That is the deception in the Liberian politics.
Then he collected 25,000 from Charles Taylor for Joel Howard.
So that's why I'm surprised to see
any kind of information.
You never heard of
Western Tapper.
The radio Gabon thing you want to do your good Baba.
No, that radio Gabon when Western Tapper was
African Euro
when they went to Ghana. When George Weah spoke to Charles Taylor, the rumor came that he was given $25,000. Western Tapper was the chairman. Listen, when they asked Western Tapper said he could not nor confirm nor deny.
What does that mean?
Mr. So, what I mean in the press, in the business?
No, you tell. I know it. I don't want to say. You say the American interpret. I beg you, trouble.
That's the diplomatic confirmation.
Mr. So you want to go to Liberia just like you.
Okay, Samson, your mustard running now. Bye bye. Yeah. Good night. All right, guys. Yeah, good night.
Good night.
Bye bye. Okay, guys, we want to thank you so much for all of you, your comments, your tweets, your interactions. We really, really do appreciate that. Insurmountable. James Flood Wilson, thank you so much. Gerard, thank you for always chipping in. Mr. Samukat Benene Yeke, thank you so much. Roll Hypocrite or whatever. James Manor. Fatuman Sheriff, thank you so much, all of you. If you are not Peter Peters, our man who always here, Nettie Davis, good evening. Thank you so much. I'm not sure what's going to happen here. We're going to be looking up to Nettie. We're going to be looking up to Peter. Let me see who yet. Benedict Jacob, and all of you come for Canon, Nangbe, and all of you. We are trying to rally to resources. You know, this business here, if you decide not to cost or to take a specific side, it makes it very difficult. But we are still trying to pull resources like you did in the past. So we appreciate the same number here, just in case we still have a little time from now to next week, Tuesday. We still plan to form part of the presidential run or to bring coverage. Whatever hand you gave last week, we use it for us. We don't need nothing plenty. Our guys, they know it's a community giving back to the community. This number is on Cash App, it's on Zelle. From now to the day, whatever you have, we appreciate if you can share that little blessing just to facilitate to get our guys in the field to cover the process. And so we appreciate your giving, and we are still looking forward. Melvin, Dan, all of you guys, whatever you have, $5, $10, that is okay just to get our guys out there. We are making preparation. It's hard. If you're not in the pocket of these political folks, it's hard to do things. But because of these tough times, we can't subscribe. We can't compromise the integrity of this network. So there are two things that we have the resources we do. If we don't have it, hey, we'll watch other network and see it. But there's no way that we can do anything to compromise the integrity of this network all ourselves. That is very, very, very vital. So for now to Tuesday and embedded, that's the number that, or just reach out whatever level you have, share with us, and we really appreciate to have our guys being out there. Until then, folks, follow us on LPR. We are also always on YouTube as well. There's a way that you can listen. If you're not following or follow us, subscribe, leave your comments into our mails in our section. We will appreciate that. If there's anything that we're doing that is not in line with our own ethical values, let us know. We can adjust. So we welcome comments, suggestions, criticism, best to enhance. And this is why we don't leave no one behind. Even if we do not agree with you, we do not personalize when we're talking about our country. And this is why when a liberal is trying to sanction other views, I will always fight back, because it's not about him, it's not about us. People got to speak about their country, how they feel, and people have the right to make their own choices in terms of which political institutions or where they want to align themselves. That is vital. If the person is going right, you should be able to deploy an avenue to kind of get them closer to you, and part of that to be very persuasive and not to call their names because of their political decisions. Then you are not either helping the process, or you are not even helping the person that you're supporting. This is the lack of political tolerance. It's from the top and is successfully spread down to the bottom, and we need to erase that. Until then, folks, thank you so much. Mally Jones, I'm not sure, I don't know whether you were busy, but that link was sent out to everybody. I'm not sure what's the deal tonight, but are you always here? If you didn't receive it, I'm not sure how, but I'm not like the liberal. I always get it out there. Until then, guys, thank you so much. And let's leave you with these beautiful wordings with little Josiah from Greater Liberia. Bye-bye.